Hello everyone, Nintendofan10039 here. It's time to start up the hype train again, cause Nintendo's E3 presentation is right around the corner. It's in 7 days, which is on June 12th. So I thought I'd make a little video, maybe not so little, covering my expectations and my hopes for this year's presentation. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We're going to start with my expectations, and these are a little bit more expected than my hopes. So let's go. Number 1, Super Smash Bros. I believe that Nintendo will do a character showcase, maybe showcasing some of the moves and the different characters and fighters in the game. I think they'll also show off some new modes, which might include the break the targets, trophy mode, trophy rush, whatever you want to call it, and maybe board the platforms as well. And I also think that the rich single player campaign will also be covered. Nintendo will also show off some stages and show off the Inklings and how they play. The release date I see for this one is September 30th, which is coinciding with the Nintendo Switch Online. Number 2, we have Fortnite. It's a popular game on other consoles, PC, and mobile. We don't know too much I don't know too much about Fortnite, other than it's a mix of Lego, in that you can build stuff, and Halo, in that you shoot stuff. I believe it'll release ASAP, right after the presentation. Number 3, Yoshi. Yoshi was shown off at last year's E3 presentation, and I think it's about time that they show it off again. So I believe that they'll do a name reveal, and the name is going to be Yoshi's Cardboard Island. I believe that this ties the theme of the game together with the name Yoshi's Island. Makes sense, and I think it's a very Nintendo-like name. I believe that they'll show off more levels, just in addition to what they showed off at last year's E3. It will also tie in with Nintendo Labo, which is the popular Switch accessory, I suppose you could say, for children. I believe the release date for Yoshi's Cardboard Island will be in August. Number 4, we have Fire Emblem. I believe that they will showcase some gameplay, since we have not seen anything of the game as of yet. I believe that they will incorporate more waifus. This means bigger boobs and larger butts, and maybe it'll have a teen rating rather than a E or E10 plus. It's about time that we get to do stuff with our S-class characters, the ones that we have the special bond with, and these activities might be cuddling, petting, and hand holding. These features were in Fates, but they were taken out for the North American release. I believe that Nintendo should try and unify the Japanese release with the North American release and make it one game, no changes, and just release it as is. I believe it'll be one big game rather than two smaller different games like Fates. I also believe that they'll announce DLC. Whether that's a good idea or not is up to you. I believe that the release date for Fire Emblem will be December 12th. This will be right before Christmas and will get lots of people out to the stores to purchase it. Number 5, I believe they will cover Mario Tennis Aces, at least in some capacity. They'll say about how many people attended the demo that we had this weekend. Well, this past weekend. It'll showcase the first they'll showcase the first tournament character, which in my opinion is probably Koopa, just by the outline on the direct that they had previously. Now, back in the GameCube days, they had a Mario Tennis on there, Mario Power Tennis, and that had some mini games. Now, I believe that Mario Tennis Aces is no different. I believe that Mario Tennis Aces will have mini games and that they'll show them off for E3. They'll also mention the release date and make sure that it's ingrained into people's heads so that they can remember that it's at the end of June and go to the store. And yeah. Number 6, Mario plus Rabbids Donkey Kong Island DLC. I believe they'll talk about how popular the core game was. This was Ubisoft and Nintendo's surprise, give or take, because it was leaked beforehand. However, it was kind of a surprise because it got a better reception than what I thought it would get. They're also going to talk about how Donkey Kong and Cranky Kong Rabbid add new elements to the core gameplay. They will also focus on how this is an addition to the core game and has an entirely new story. I believe that this will release in E3 week on June 14th. Number 7, Super Mario Maker port. I believe that the Switch is getting lots of ports. That's kind of a fact. Whether you like that or not, it's up to you. It's giving myself, I had a Wii U, but it's giving myself a chance to replay some of the games that I did not pick up for the Wii U, such as Bayonetta, and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. For those of you who did not purchase it, I purchased it on the Wii U, so that's how I'm playing it currently. But I believe Super Mario Maker will be getting a port. I believe that they'll add some new art styles for the game and add some slopes and some new enemies and other stuff that wasn't in the core game. I believe that it will be able to download levels straight to the Switch so that it doesn't have to be connected to the internet to play custom levels. It will be kind of treated as a Super Mario Maker 2, and the release date will be September 13th. Number 8, we have the Splatoon 2 Octo expansion. I believe that they'll talk a little bit about the story of the main expansion. They will also emphasize that it has over 80 unique levels once again. They'll play a few levels on Treehouse Live, which is the post-direct kind of stream that Nintendo does. And the release date is 8/8/8, also known as August 8th, 2018. That is International Octopus Day. Number 9, we have Animal Crossing Switch. I believe that Animal Crossing Switch is finally coming out this year. Well, the Switch has only been out for a couple years, but I guess it's been out for 1 year, and a little bit. But yeah, Animal Crossing is coming to the Switch. It will have larger towns. It will be easier to connect with friends, and your friends can even share a town if they so wish. The graphics, for those of you who've played or watched Amiibo Festival, I believe it'll look something like that. And, as far as I'm concerned, Amiibo Festival's gameplay, while it may have sucked, the HD renders of the characters looked great. So I believe that we'll be getting graphics kind of like those. I'm hoping for more events to actually partake in, such as, Christmas, Thanksgiving, races, maybe a soccer match or something. I don't know, just something like that. And I believe it'll take some inspiration from Stardew Valley, in that maybe you can go mining, maybe you can go fishing. Well, you can go fishing already, but um, just take some inspiration from Stardew a little bit. Maybe you can actually go farming. That would be a first for this Animal Crossing series. Number 10, Star Fox Grand Prix. This has been largely rumored and leaked, and lots of places and sources have confirmed that they've heard something similar. It's a Star Fox racing game for those that don't know. It also has adventure elements. The game is developed by Retro Studios. And if you don't like what you've been hearing as far as the rumors go, well, I believe it'll blow people's expectations away. I believe that Star Fox will handle and play well, and that people will love the new direction that the game is going for. It will have a classic Star Fox mode where you proceed from Corneria all the way to Venom. I believe that the release date for this game will be November 23rd. My hopes. That's right, it's time to move on to my hopes. We've covered the top 10 for what I expect. Now it's time for the hopes. Number 1, we have Pikmin 4. Miyamoto has said several years ago that it was almost done. I believe that it was probably originally going to be for the Wii U, and that it took longer than what Miyamoto and Nintendo thought to port it from the Wii U to the Switch. I believe it could go back to the series basics, where you're collecting various collectibles, maybe ship parts again, or maybe not fruit, because they use that for 3. And I know they use ship parts, but they could do that again. Or gears, or I don't know, just collectibles. And that open world style of Pikmin would be a very cool thing to see. So maybe they'll do that. I doubt it, but you never know. Number 2, Paper Mario. I want it to be an old style Paper Mario, not like Color Splash or Sticker Star. And it needs a return to form because the series has disappointed a lot of fans and people as a whole. Nintendo has room for many Mario RPGs. They don't realize it. They might have realized it now, but hopefully they have. But I believe that, Super Mario RPG was on the SNES, Super Nintendo, and they should even feel free to bring back that series as well. Team up with Square Enix. Bring another one. People love that series. I want them to bring back partners to the game. Partners is one of the core mechanics that I love as part of the Paper Mario fans. I don't want any pointless battles with no experience points handed out. Sticker Star and Color Splash didn't really have any EXP. I want a very rich and unique story for this Paper Mario. I want it to be kind of like Thousand Year Door or the original, in that it has that, unique, rich story that people and fans alike will love. Keep them guessing at every turn. I want them to keep the rich paper art style from Color Splash. However, the white outlines around the characters, maybe you don't need those. I know it looks more like paper if you have that, but to me it looks like a 3DS game. which I believe they basically used the engine and just ported the engine over to Wii U for Color Splash. Number 3, Mario Party. I want this to be akin to 1 through 8, in that it goes back to the pre-car era. I want them to incorporate some new, cool minigames. I want them to also reinvent some old minigames, make them look new, fresh coat of paint, maybe add some new mechanics, that sort of stuff. I want to see some awesome boards in this new Mario Party. Something like EGAD's Garage and Westernland would be fantastic. You know, something themed, unique. And costumes like Mario Party 2 would be also fantastic to see. If you don't know, Mario Party 2 was my first one that I grew up with as a small child, and I still have some love for the Mario Party through that. Number 4, Metroid Prime 4. This is one that I highly doubt we will see. I want to see just anything Metroid Prime 4. Anything. Whether it's a cinematic trailer, gameplay footage, anything like that. I want it to be coming out this year. And, some people want a horror Metroid game, but I'm not one of those people. If it's more horror-based than Metroid, I'll probably skip it, even though it is a Prime game. And I want them to incorporate a online multiplayer, which kind of is kind of like Metroid Prime 2. That one had a multiplayer, and I want that to be carried online. Number 5, I want a new Chibi Robo game. I'm a big fan of the GameCube original. I like cleaning up and throwing trash away. I found it was fun and something to do. It was a relatively short game, but found lots of enjoyment nonetheless. The GameCube game had a very nice, touching story. I won't go over it, just in case some of you decide to play it. Nintendo decided to tease us a little bit with using Chibi Robo as their image for a Nintendo Direct earlier this year. It wasn't announced in that Direct, but I'm hoping they announce it at E3. I want it to be more like the first game and less like Ziplash, so more adventure game rather than platformer. Number 6, I want to see some Super Mario Odyssey DLC. Super Mario Odyssey was a great game from 2017. I want some new kingdoms for this DLC, and perhaps the kingdoms can be based on Luigi's Mansion or Isle Delfino. These would be preferred, but even something like a North Pole level or cemetery level would be cool. We don't really have anything scary, so I want something, a little bit scary. Well, not scary per se, but, with booze and haunted house and stuff like that. And even a fleshed out Dark Souls themed level, kind of like the Ruined Kingdom, but more, bigger and stuff. More moons. Number 7, I want to see Mario Kart 9 or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. Mario Kart 8 was a fantastic game. I owned it on both the Switch and the Wii U. Unfortunately, for all us Wii U players who bought both sets of DLC, we had already played most of the content previously. It was nice to get the battle arenas and a better fleshed out battle mode, but I want to see more raceways. Even some DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, maybe it could reference the Super Mario Odyssey Kingdoms. And, even if there are way more ideas, maybe they could make an entirely new game, a Mario Kart 9, or Super Smash Kart. I don't know. Whatever they decide to do, it's up to them. Number 8, I want to see a new 2D Zelda game. Breath of the Wild was Game of the Year for 2017. And it's exciting to see what Nintendo could do with the improved engine of the Switch for Zelda in the 2D version. You know, Breath of the Wild was a beautiful game, and I think they could carry some of that over to the 2D version. I think about it. 2 months ago, there was a rumor about a Link's Awakening port. But, you know, I want a new game, so how about a remix of that game instead? You know, A Link to the Past was the original, and then Link Between Worlds was kind of a remix on that game, like a rehash. Yeah, I want to see something like that. Number 9, I want to see World Ends With You details. Now, World Ends With You is something that they announced in a previous Nintendo Direct. I never bought it on the DS, unfortunately. I'm very sad about that, but you know, I'm glad it's coming to the Switch. That way I get a chance to try it, and I'm very excited about that. I think it looks intriguing. I want to see maybe a few more details on the story mode. Not too many, so they don't give it all away, but you know, something to pique my interest, even though, you know, fairly interested already. And of course, I want to see a release date. I don't know when they'll release it, but this is something that I need to see. I want it to be coming out this year. Number 10, I want themes for Nintendo Switch. I believe that it could add some more customization options for the Switch, obviously. It'll feel like it's unique to the player or owner that has the Switch. Not sure how it would work with the profiles, but you know, just make the overall Switch and then customizable for the themes, and just do something like that. I think that even more free colors would be nice, in addition to black and white. So that's about it. There's one more thing that I want to see from Nintendo, and I know that they'll deliver. Memes!
My body is ready.
Alright, if you guys liked what you watched, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's a good way to stay up to date on all my YouTube stuff. Also, I have a Twitch that is more active than my YouTube, so go follow me on there. You don't have to subscribe, just the free option. You can also follow me on Twitter and Facebook. All links are in the description below. And until next time, you guys have yourselves a great night, day, whatever time it is, and whatever day it is. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. Stay tuned for my Nintendo Direct live reactions, which are going to be coming up on Twitch on Tuesday. So yeah, until then, bye for now.
もう一つ。
どこにいるの？円盤の看板。
リドリーは大きすぎます。
うん？
魔女はあまりにも強力です。
私に任せて。
うん。